guys, Alex is back. Great to see you again, and hoping that we have a quick conversation about what's going on in industry. Um, I don't know if you've noticed this, and I'm sure that all of you that follow many of the other people in that have websites related to comics have seen this. There's been a big decline. A lot of the folks that used to do constant videos about unboxings and all these things, they're gone. They're either gone or they're showing up a lot less. Myself included. I haven't done one of these. I think I'm closing into 2 months. I've done some short ones, especially when I've done some movie reviews, which the last one I did was Fantastic Four, and I thought it was phenomenal. So I really recommend that. But again, I think that as far as the comic book industry, there are some things that are going on that are really affecting all of us. I, for example, have been in this industry for so long that the intrinsic value of I can get for comics when I resell them or sell them is still good because I bought them off the shelf for to a large degree. Although over the years I've bought some CGCs that have been pre-slabbed, and I don't have an issue with CGC. I've said this before. A lot of people out there are like, "Oh, get your books out of the slabs. Let's go raw again." Like it's whatever you want. If like me, I'm in a mode in my life where I'm going to be slowly eliminating most of my comics. The only ones I'm really keeping are Golden Age. And I think Golden Age should be slabbed because I don't have my Golden Age because I read them. I have my Golden Age because I enjoy the covers. I enjoy the fact that these are historical comics that I'm trying to preserve. And the best way to preserve them is to have them slabbed. I mean, I'm not going to put them in cryogenic freeze or anything ridiculous. So slabbing them, yes. Does it keep them good forever? No. Things can happen, but at the same time, we've seen collections like the Mile High collection that didn't even have slabs and was located in the right temperature in the right room that are still getting 9/8 from the 1930s and 40s. So you can if you have your slabs in the right conditions, they're going to last. The slab is not going to hurt the comic. So regardless of what anybody I'll tell you will tell you out there, the slabs are not going to hurt your comics. So anyway, what I really wanted to cover is the fact that the industry is changing. It's going back to what I remember being more like for many years. But I've also seen this industry go through waves where you've got highs and lows. We're in a low right now, and one of the phrases I've always used throughout my life when faced with adversity or even victory is when you're at your lowest, be happy because it's only going to get better, and when you're at your height, be worried because it's going to get worse because nothing stays the same. So, one of the things I'm doing is I'm collecting original art. I'm focusing on Golden Age. There's a lot of strength in Silver Age still. I've been selling a lot of my Silver Age and been doing quite well on it. I think that Silver Age is here to stay. It's going to be the Golden Age of the new collectors, and the Golden Age is going to start moving more and more away in just in value and reach of people as it becomes the next platinum age. And if you don't know what the platinum age, that was like Yellow Kid and some of the pre-comic book comic art that existed in things like newspapers and fanzines, or not fanzines, but magazines that were embedded and had some cartoons in them. So anyway, yeah, I think the Silver Age is one of the areas that people should be collecting. If you're going to be in this field for the next 40 years, my recommendation is that you get into Silver Age now because it's going to start getting priced out of your ability. And if you do want to get into something a lot less expensive, the Bronze Age is good. But one other thing I've noticed is the new artists. There are kind of new Frazettas. They're not maybe as good as Frazetta, but if you really look at the Frazetta art, it's great art. It's beautiful art. I adore Frank Frazetta. I think more famous funnies. The Buck Rogers run was insane. I can't tell you that I like anything more than that because I really enjoy those. His EC stuff was beautiful, but I do think that there are new artists that actually are very, very good, and these guys are going to be the next Frank Frazettas, the next Neil Adams. So there is a value in getting some of this artwork, especially original art, and especially some of these consignments that people get from them. Back in the day, nobody got a consignment from Frazetta. Nobody got a consignment from Neil Adams until later in life. And the reason was you did not have the kind of reach you have today. If you're a collector today, you should be feel extremely privileged because it was a time when you could only get your hands on the things that were immediately in your local area or at a con. And cons were not what they are today. The cons that I used to go to, which I prefer, were conventions that were smaller, and because you did not have that constant ability to communicate and get feedback, like even with a video like this from someone who's been in the comic industry for a long time and other guys that are out there, I think that at the time those conventions meant a lot more to us. Today conventions are more about getting dressed up and being able to go someplace in costume and not being called a fool. Because if you dress up as Wolverine and go out to dinner, people are going to look at you a little strange. But if you go to a convention and you go have dinner in the hotel, no one's going to care. As a matter of fact, they want to take a picture with you. So it's that kind of change that's been going on. I do think that some of the things I've seen with original art is getting to the point where it's going to be prohibitive to many people. So the sooner you can get into it, the better it'll be. Remember, these are one of a kind. That means that the ones I have behind me, nobody else has. So that just because it's one of a kind also doesn't mean it's valuable. But if you want to invest, my suggestion is really invest in original art. Um, and if you want to sell your comics in the future, I think you should put them in slabs. One other thing I've been hearing is this whole "the sky is falling." Look, in 1990, it couldn't get worse. What's going on right now in comic books is nothing compared to the 1990s. In the 1990s, people were driving into LCSs with long boxes and selling them for like $25 because nobody wanted any comics because at the time the comic books had crashed incredibly. Why it hasn't happened now is because of this, the internet and the reach we have, because there's still enough people out there that you can see that there's still demand. Back then, the only place you could sell your comics was really if you connected with somebody and it was hard to do that connection. So 90% of the sales were back to the LCS. And what's the LCS going to do? They're going to buy your comics so that they can resell them. So what does that mean? They're going to give you less money than it's worth. It's like selling gold. If you're going to sell gold and you can't find somebody who's going to pay you for your gold because they want that piece, you're going to get the weight of the metal by market. That's it. And when you go into a jewelry store, they'll give you at best that or less so that they can resell it. Now, because they are a jewelry store, they can resell it at higher than just the weight. So if you have a good relationship and they really want your piece, they'll get it, they'll pay you the weight. Otherwise, they won't. So, look, guys, I think that what the whole message to this video is don't worry about the industry. Comics are going to survive. They always have, they always will. I think that what we're seeing is going back to basics. We still have, I would say the market is probably 100 times larger than it was when I was collecting and the internet wasn't what it is today. So just because it used to be 1,000 times larger, and that was the comic boom, um, don't worry, it'll come back. We'll have another comic boom. It'll probably happen when the movies get better, and the movies should be getting better. We're seeing some of that, but we're also learning a lot, right? That whole idea of a movie comes out and everybody rushes to buy the book, people have kind of cooled on that. So be careful. Don't start throwing your money away on books just because the movie's coming out. I mean, if you like it, get it. If you want it for collecting purposes, or even if you want it for resale purposes, get it. Nothing wrong with that. The people out there that think that no one collects because of resale interest, they're wrong. And you know how I can tell you that they're wrong? That's why price guides exist. If price guides didn't exist, then I would tell you, yeah, people collect because they just want to keep their stuff and all that. It's kind of like people who collect yarn. There is no price line for price guide for yarn, but this is not yarn. We have a collectible here that it took a lot of years and a lot of decades for people to recognize its intrinsic value, and to think that having an intrinsic value makes it a non-hobby is absolutely absurd. So again, my message has always been collect what you like. I think one of the things we have to realize is some of the channels that you've been watching, if you've been watching them, are changing. One thing I really don't like, and I want to bring this up, is the cards. I'm not into Magic the Gathering and all that kind of stuff. So I've seen some people that do comics kind of jump into Pokemon because it's hot. That's where I think people are being ingenuous instead of actually staying true to the hobby that they were saying was so great. Now all of a sudden they're into Pokemon. Well, they're only into Pokemon because they're resellers. Nobody that loves comics is going to jump into Pokemon. I mean, you might if you like Pokemon, but they're far and few because Pokemon was around during the comic boom. So if you like Pokemon then, good. Then you like Pokemon. But if you suddenly like Pokemon because it got hot, that means that you're just trying to be a retailer, and you might as well think of that person as an LCS. So anyway, guys, look, I'm gonna be making more of these videos. I wanna get back into it, and hopefully, over the next few months, you're gonna see some changes. I am also going to start another channel. That channel is gonna be devoted more to my industry and what I do. I am a strategy technology consultant, and there's a lot of talk about AI. I think AI is going to change this industry, but I also think that there's some misconceptions on AI. So one of the topics I'm going to tackle in my new channel right up front is going to be AI, what it means to you, what it means to all of us, and I will cover comics in that AI discussion. So I'll publish the AI video here as well as in the new channel, because I am going to be talking about comics and artwork and what does it mean. And here's a snippet from what you're going to hear. In the future, manually created art is going to be vastly more valued than AI created art, because AI created art can be created at any time by anyone. These guys have to have that inherent talent. In the future, the AI engine will have the talent. You'll have the imagination, and no one takes that away from you. So when you feed the AI engine what you want to do and how you want it to look and all that, that's your mind and your imagination, and there's a value there. So this is a sneak peek at what you're going to see in that AI video. I hope you guys have had a great summer, and I look forward to seeing you soon. And keep collecting, guys. It's a beautiful hobby. Bye.